Hi, I'm Darin. Mike is on assignment. Okay, actually, Mike is home. To tell you the truth, I have no idea what Mike is doing right now. Last week, Dave Lay joined us in the studio for the first time ever in Irritable Dad Syndrome history, and we had an exhilarating conversation about Rhode Island and cranberries, and then Mike went to a hotel that didn't have soap, and then a woman thought that I was trying to carjack her at Kroger, and all the stories that we told last week went absolutely nowhere. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to last week's episode. After we recorded that episode, Dave Lay hung around, and we talked in the studio for a while and had a great conversation. What we were going to do originally was give that to our patrons, but we decided it was so good, we're going to turn it into another episode. So here we are, part 2 of Dave Lay joining us in the studio. We hope you enjoy it.
Okay, can we do my cranberry part again? Or
We're not doing anything. No.
I mean,
do I get final cut on this?
We did just have 1 or 2 people just join us. Like, where the hell you been for the past hour and a half?
What's wrong with you people? How many folks are actually paying attention?
Well, it says there's the numbers right up here. I don't like to say it because I don't want to embarrass us.
Oh, okay.
We've got that many.
All
Usually that's about what we have all the way through, but it's kind of slowly grew. We only had 1 viewer for like the first actual part of the show. Once the show began to end, and once we started doing the Rhode Island facts, that number just started growing.
I think we're going to talk about Rhode Island all next week. Yeah.
This is the only creature in this house that's more annoyed by that than us is Booba, because what he's doing is barking in Booba's. He's literally right next to her ear and face, and he's barking because she's refusing to play with him, and he's trying to get her to play.
Yeah.
And every once in a while she'll snap and bite him, and then he's playing. And then he'll start humping one of the kids, and we got to go in and stop. Break him up,
hose them off.
It's just, He's taught Booba how to hump. She's not a
sexual instructor.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did not hear this last episode.
Okay. I haven't either.
About the
Mike never listens.
Was that the Sphere episode or the one before
that? So the Vegas and New York episodes were basically ended up being 2. So we actually talked about our events 2 episodes ago, and then the things surrounding the events last episode, the one that came out today.
Yeah. Because about the Spheres thing, you keep hearing that. Oh, yeah, U2 was there, but they're like this bar band off on the side. And the real show was, everywhere else.
Yeah.
Is that what you...
Well, I mean, as a diehard U2, I don't know if you know this.
Hit it.
I enjoyed it.
The quota's been met.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on where you are. So we were in the first seated section. So had a very clear view of them. So I would alternate between looking at them and the screens. I will say that it is unnerving, the things that they do with the screens. I mean, you can see some things on video, but when they do the fly, they have all these words that are flat, and it's really an illusion. They're not flat because it's it's a curved screen, but you see it on a flat plane. And then it's real simple. They just kind of make the outer words kind of wrap in and do this thing like they're closing in on you. And it looked like the sphere was closed in, and then make it like a roof come down, and they turn this ball into a cube that everyone's in. And it was warped from how we were way off to the side, but you still saw the illusion. And then the only time that I actually got vertigo and pitched forward was even better than Real Thing, because they have the entirety of the screen is this ornate stage that's just kind of moving down like an infinite stage with all these things like Elvis and dancers and all these things. And if you're looking at the screens, you're okay. But if you look at the audience down below that's stationary, it feels like the sphere is doing, going back, and you feel it and pitch forward. I actually almost bumped the people in front of us in their seats. Yeah. And that scared me because I didn't know what happened. I thought I was having a stroke.
Did you ever go to Epcot Center as a kid? Because they used to, I don't know if they still do, the giant 9 screens around. It wasn't the roof, but it was around.
Yeah.
And we watched the movie that they made about Canada.
Yeah.
And so we're standing forward and we're going through this field. And then I
look behind
I
you.
turned and looked, and we're being chased by these Canadian Mounties.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, you know? And so we all turned around and we're watching, and we're trying to watch everything. And we're just standing there walking in circles. And then they had the plane footage. And then I fell over. I didn't crash on the ground, but I was like, whoa. Had to grab myself.
That's what she said.
My buddy thought that was pretty funny because it's funny when your friend falls down.
So the thing, Darin, you left the YouTube groups for your own sanity.
I did.
I stayed in them. They bitch
all the
so
time.
much about everything. They just
about this podcast?
No,
No.
about the sphere.
Oh yeah.
About they're always
I heard this on radio.
Well,
Morning radio.
there's like two different groups of people. There's the people that think that Bono is the literal savior. And then there's other people that can't stand the band but are somehow in this YouTube group.
Yeah.
And it's like these two warring factions that are always going back and forth. And in the middle are some people that give good advice and like what you need when you're going to a show, like go here at this time to whatever. So that's why I stay in those things. But the crazy thing is people were bitching on the first shows. They're saying, they don't even use he had one group saying they don't even use the screens. I don't even know why they're having this show there.
That's bullshit.
Then another group is saying, well, why'd they even show up? Just show the stuff on the screens. Nobody's looking at the band anyway. And it's all the normal people in the middle are like, those two things can't be true at the same time.
Yeah.
That they're diametrically opposed. And the reality of it is there's actually a theme going through. They start out just blasting you with all this stuff, and then they deconstruct it. They literally, during one of the songs, they project the outside of the sphere. It's a CGI. It's not really, but it looks real. And then you see these cranes taking apart all the casinos, and it's aimed so that if the sphere was transparent, that's what it would look like. It's really off-putting. You feel like you're outside. And they take it apart, and then you're in the desert. And then they do where their streets have no name and they're more deserty, we're out in the desert eating granola stuff. And that was probably my favorite part because it really did feel like we were outside. So at that point, I quit looking at the band and I quit looking at the screen in front. I was looking off at the edges behind us and around. And you would see like clouds wisping by. It really felt like you were outside. Oh. Wisping by. Yeah. Wisping, that's the word of the
I wonder if the people on the YouTube group are like I was, because I got on there and I said it'd be great if they'd play some of their hits. And I'm just trying to start, And 2 days later, finally, some guy's like, they did. And he says, sorry that you aren't familiar with their catalog.
Oh.
And I'm like, I thought I would just get like bang, 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 like a full day full of people bitching at me. One person responded.
Yeah.
And then I was disappointed. So I was like, okay.
They're in full sphere mode now.
Yeah.
You got to catch them in their downtime. That's when you really piss them off.
Mm.
Yeah. But I talk about the three groups that I'm in are Tool, Rush, and U2, and they couldn't be more different.
Yeah.
And my favorite is the Rush groups because they don't say shit. For months. Nobody says a damn thing. And then randomly somebody will say, hey, I just heard 2112 again. And then everybody thread expands into hundreds of replies about how awesome 2112 is. Yep. And then just nothing for another 6 months. And then somebody will mention and Tool, it's all about how Tool is the greatest band ever and every other band sucks. So
now, Dave, who was your band that you followed and loved forever?
Iron Maiden.
Okay. Oh, hell yeah.
But speaking of Rush, real quick before I get further into that, my son bought me a Rush T-shirt for Christmas. And it's a knockoff.
Okay.
It's a hilarious knockoff. It's not even close to Moving Pictures, but I love it. It's great. It's like, this is how tacky I am.
So what's the shirt look like?
It's Moving Pictures.
So
I guess the back of that. Yeah, them carrying it. But the faces aren't quite right.
Yeah.
I don't know if they messed it up just enough so they wouldn't get sued.
Yeah.
Or they just that's how bad it is. Or, I don't know.
Now, did he know it was a knockoff shirt?
Probably.
Oh, so
yeah, he got me another one as a Miata shirt. And it's really bad, which is funny. And so I wear that every chance I get.
Yeah.
I'm looking around because I have an Iron Maiden flag, but it's not down here.
I have a can of beer, of Iron Maiden beer.
I had some of the Iron Maiden beer.
Terrible.
Yeah. We were they were in Riverbend. We saw me and Fanch and Kevin saw them.
Was that the last time they were
here? Coburn. Yeah. 2018. Maybe?
Stop banging on the desk. Thank you.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think you'll ever see them again?
Maybe if they come around. See, yeah.
We don't know how long they're going to be around. That's
I know. I would see him again.
Absolutely. I've never seen them before.
You've never seen them before?
No.
All right, we're going. Next time they come around here,
all right,
we're going to see them.
I want to see the
I'll
airplane come down.
Yeah.
They
did. They did that. They did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the TikTok, there's this great video of this children's choir singing "Wasted Years."
Oh,
It's great.
so they were on the Power Trip. Did you hear about the Power Trip Festival?
I have not.
That was when Fancher, a bunch of us were planning on doing that. That was the same weekend that we went to the Sphere. Mm-hmm. So if we would have done that, we would have actually gone the Thursday before to the Sphere. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's out in the desert. It's halfway between Las Vegas and L.A. There's a town it's Indigo. I think it's called Indigo, California.
Okay.
One night was... So there were 6 bands. I don't remember the nights, but it was Guns N' Roses,
Winger.
Iron Maiden, AC/DC, Tool,
The Bullet Boys.
Metallica, and Judas Priest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. God.
yeah. 3 nights. I think it was Tool and Metallica were together on Sunday.
Wait, you can't put them on the same night. One of them's got a headline. They can't both headline.
They both. Well, I mean, they were together, and I think it was Guns N' Roses and
because GNR aren't going to do a show with Metallica.
Guns N' Roses. Again. No. I said Tool and Metallica.
I'm saying when they line up the 3 nights.
Yeah, no, GNR. No.
They're not...
GNR. I think GNR was with Judas Priest.
Okay.
And I think it was AC/DC and Iron Maiden.
Okay.
So I was willing to miss one of the nights.
Yeah.
If we had to go to the U2, if we went to the U2 show on a different day, but
yeah,
it ended up falling through. It was ungodly expensive too. I mean,
I can imagine. Yeah.
I mean, and you can't sit; you got to stand the entire time, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's aerial pictures. So Fancher, everybody's been sending pictures and things out. It's ridiculously huge. I mean, if you get like the cheap seats, which are like 500 or whatever. They were.
The cheap seats are.
It's like if we found out that this concert's happening in Paul Brown Stadium and we just go in my backyard and sit down. That's $500. It was like I'm really far away. Looking on binoculars and there's a reason they had it out in the desert because it's all flat and you can say, oh yeah, technically the stage is over there somewhere.
Yeah,
I really do want to see AC/DC before I die or they die.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones are coming out with a new album.
I know, and I hear it's amazing.
At that point, anything they do is amazing.
McCartney appears on it. Okay?
Oh, wow.
And then unless I'm wrong...
I thought they hated each other. Well, they did back in the day, didn't they? Or they had a little rivalry going.
Man. Mick Jagger inducted the Beatles into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he's flat out said, he says, a lot of people assume that since we had a rivalry, he says, I've always considered us friends.
Well, yeah, they had a rivalry. Yeah, let it be and let it bleed.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. But so McCartney's on it. I think it's like the last recording that they made with Charlie Watts, the drummer, before he passed away.
Oh, wow.
And then I could have swore they said that Bill Wyman appears on it, their old bass player.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's probably still a piece of furniture, right? He never moved around much.
Bill says, when Charlie moves, I move.
Yeah,
that's why he stood there. He just stood there. Keith, mixed all over the place.
Keith, they leaned. Keith, when Bess and I saw them in 2015 in Columbus, and no one brought Keith out. He walked himself out, but it seemed like he just kind of leaned on a mic stand and played. But Mick was more.
Oh my God,
active than I am.
No, I remember
he was everywhere.
After New Jersey had that giant flood, okay, and then they had that huge concert to raise money for New Jersey.
Yeah,
and the Stones came on, and they did 2 songs or 3 songs, and they blew everybody away with the 3 songs that they did.
Yeah,
a 3-song show by the Stones is better than a full song or full. Anyway, they came out with "You Got Me Rockin'."
Yeah,
right, and Mick Jagger probably lost 12 pounds. Walking back and forth all over the stage, and Keith was leaning up the stage like.
I mean, at this point, At this point, I mean, I saw there's a clip of Keith. I mean, he was on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Yeah,
I don't watch the Jimmy Fallon show.
I know, but that clip of Keith looked pretty good.
He looked pretty good,
Yeah.
but if you're just watching it with no sound, it looks like he can barely hold the guitar, and you're like, nothing good is coming out of that.
Yeah.
And then I replayed the clip, but I turned it up, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, he's playing the
It's
acoustic
like
guitar.
right there, acoustic guitar doing "Start Me Up," and Jimmy Fallon was singing the "Start Me Up."
Yeah.
but he had it. Like it's like, oh, you're actually hitting the strings when it looks like his hand is just kind of flopping across it. It's like you're hitting that better than I do when I try.
Yeah, and he uses his fingers. He doesn't play with a pick.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, some people do. Dave, do you play guitar with a pick or do you use your fingers?
I play with a pick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't play guitar, do you?
I do not.
Okay. Yeah.
I made a clock out of one once.
You made a clock out of a guitar?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a Hondo too. It was a really good one.
Okay.
You guys remember Hondos?
The guitar?
Yeah.
No.
That sounds
It
familiar.
was like a really bad rip-off of a Les Paul
Okay.
for kids.
So hold it, stop. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my guy. What inspired you to make a clock out of a guitar?
A friend of mine said, hey, wouldn't that be cool? Because the guitar's all beat up and everything. Wouldn't it be cool if we had a clock right in the middle of it? I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you get the clock guts and drill a hole. Well, actually, cut a hole, I should say.
So you cut a hole in the center of the guitar.
Yep.
And then put a clock in it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you carved everything out of the guitar
No,
and
that's
molded.
Far too much work.
Okay. Yeah. I made a bowl out of that.
Well, you're expanding your horizons. That's what's cool. Yeah.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Tromofizerol. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and there comes a time when you reach a certain age and you start to get aches in certain uncomfortable places. That's why there's a new product on the market called Tromofizerol. With Tromofizerol, you can get back to doing the things you used to do without causing any problems to your, well, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just take one Tromofizerol capsule in the morning with breakfast and another before bed, and you'll notice a world of difference. Don't take Tromofizerol if you're allergic to Tromofizerol. Side effects may include dryness around the knees and elbows, short-term memory loss, inability to make coherent sentences, delusional thoughts of unimaginable strength, sudden urges to eat expired dairy products, and body odor. Ask your doctor if Tromofizerol is right for you. Now, back to the show.
So one of the most annoying conversations I've ever been involved in, and you brought this back. This was in the 90s. I was in a bar, and this guy, I don't want to name him because I don't remember his name, but he was related to somebody that I know, and I don't want to let them know this. But I somehow ended up talking to him, and he played bass.
Yeah.
Now, I'm an idiot, but I always assumed every bass player just does this thing with their fingers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Some do. Some play with their thumb.
Yeah.
Some-
I didn't know that
some
there was
thump,
a
yeah.
possible of a pick.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So picture me,
Mhm.
idiot Mike, early 20s.
Already, no problem. I'm picturing
Well, I
that.
was old enough to be in a bar, so I
I'm an
was
idiot, right?
I was between 21 and 24. That level of Mike
Yeah.
in the bar, and I, in my mind, no bass player ever uses a pick. And
Yeah.
he said, "I play the bass." I was like, "All right."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, have a beer, and I'm in the middle of thinking, why am I listening to this man talk? And he's like, most people who play the bass play with a pick, but I play with my fingers. And I said,
That's not. I don't think that's true.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. And I must have, he must have read that in my face that I was confused. And he said, no, really, almost everyone plays with a pick. Now, I don't know my exact sentence, but I did mention Geddy Lee.
Right.
I know Geddy Lee. Geddy Lee does whatever he wants,
Yeah.
really. But yeah, he normally doesn't. He's usually slapping it with his thumb or
Yep.
and I was like, Geddy Lee, and he's like, ah. I remember him going, ah. And at that point, my opinion of this dude went from here. Well, he was here.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
I think Gene Simmons plays with the pick.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Can I ask you a rush question?
Yes.
All right. There's a Protestant Catholic divide
Okay.
around the song Subdivisions.
Okay.
It's a love-or-hate.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Where do you fall on that?
I enjoy it.
I do too.
Have
Have you seen the metal version, the metal covers?
No.
dude.
The one time I saw Rush, they opened with Subdivisions.
They opened with
They
Subdivisions?
opened with Subdivisions.
Yeah. That was in Riverbend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that concert. It was the Clockwork Angels tour.
Yeah. It was amazing.
So I have a
It's kind of
theory.
odd. Usually they start with something else other than that. Was
I've
Spirit
al-
of Radio their encore?
Yes, and then Tom
And
Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my theory on Rush is every Rush fan has a favorite album, which is not too big of a stretch.
Right.
But then that kind of defines what type of Rush that they like. So so mine was originally Presto, and I've matured over the years, and I've gone back to now it is. I always want to call it All the King's Men. It's not All the King's Men.
I thought you'd certainly say 2112.
No, I do like. It took me a long time to like 2112. Why can't I remember the name? It's my favorite album. I can't remember the name.
Not Roll
of
the
it.
Bones?
Not Roll the Bones. It's the King. It's oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's got Xanadu on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but I can't think of it either.
Well, if you can call up the research department.
Because I didn't.
Standing
yeah,
God's sake, this is gonna.
No, because
Anyway.
I got into Rush so late,
I did too.
Yeah. me
like
too.
very, very, very late.
You got to get past Getty's voice.
Getty's voice never bothered me. It's
Really?
like it was one of those things where it's like I knew Working Man and I knew Tom Sawyer, and I always liked it, and I just never went out and invested any time to learn
Yeah.
any more about them.
Farewell to Kings.
Farewell to Kings, yeah.
Yep,
So
that's
my
what it
buddy Nathan, diehard Rush fan, and then my friend Corey was a big Rush fan, and there's like that's all they talked about. And I think it might have been to the point it's like, oh, okay, I get it, they're a good band. And then I was like, I kind of got tired of hearing them. Like some people like to talk about, I don't know, you too. So anyway, later on in life,
Yes.
I gave them a more thorough listening. I'm like, what's my problem? Why have I not been listening to them like crazy all these years?
First, Retired Papa, we do see you. And it is Farewell to Kings. Thank you, Kelly. It is Farewell to Kings. I can't believe I can't remember that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do with the Rush album, because three of them are amazing musicians. It's
Yes.
not like there's one really good one and then the other two just kind of keep up.
No,
they are all amazing.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
So
it's like all three of them are constantly doing a 4.5-minute solo.
So yeah, if you listen to a song, it's fun sometimes just listen to the drum track. Just
Yes.
focus on the drum track, or just focus on the bass, or just focus on the guitar. And you hear different things every time you hear it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how the most air drumming I've ever seen and air guitar you will ever see in concert is at a Rush concert. I saw the R40.
Yes.
I saw R40 in Columbus, and there was actually, I went by myself.
I wish
there
I'd
was
went.
there was actually a girl there,
Hey, what happened? What?
like right next to
Wait,
me, and I'm
like-
like,
wait.
do you need help?
A
Are you-"
female?
Yeah, a female.
like with
Yeah.
like a vagina.
So
and
it's like a
boobs?
sea. Well, I didn't, do a full exam. There was a sea of bald fat guys, right? Me included. And she's there, and I'm like, are you
Is she lost?
are you lost? Or are
Yeah.
you here? She laughed. She's like, oh yeah, I'm the one girl here. And I think she literally was, because I scanned the audience, and it's just all a bunch of 40-year-old, 50-year-old dudes.
She had her pick. Of
She
all
was
the guys.
into it. She was into it. I'm like, do you like Rush?
No, I
What do
mean,
you-
she had her pick. She could have went home with any guy there, except they're all afraid of women.
it's a Rush concert. I don't know if I told
that's
you
what I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah. But I got excited because I'm like, I'm next to
The
the one girl.
Yeah.
If I'm going to catch the attention of anyone in the band, because I was close enough to where they could see us. I'm like, you need to wave, and then I can wave at those guys. You could get their attention, But there's a few.
Yeah.
They have an amazing documentary.
It was really good.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't
and they
remember, but
mentioned
yeah.
that
We
it
don't know
shows
what
them
the name,
coming.
Something the stage.
Yes.
Beyond the lighted
Beyond
stage.
the lighted
Yes,
stage.
Beyond the
Oh,
Lighted
that's one of my favorite.
Thank you.
But like on one of the little clips from, I think it's from that one. I think it's Alex is saying, I think there was a girl out there.
Is that where they played Rock Band?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they messed up. They got a really low
Yeah.
score. Yeah.
But there's a video. It's kind of it's bittersweet now. But there is a video of them. Literally, all it is the three of them eating dinner.
Yeah.
There's just a camera. Have you seen it?
I think so.
Yeah. And there's no point. Like
Yeah.
you spend like 30 or 40 seconds thinking, what's the point? There is none.
Yeah.
They're just talking about from the day.
Yeah.
But it's intriguing. It's like it's basically this show.
Uh-huh.
There's no point to it, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Kind of like a car accident. It's really good.
Okay, I have another Rush question for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my son.
You preface every
Can't
statement you
stand-
make. It's amazing.
I know.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Hi, I'm
I
Dave
like it.
Blake.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dave Lynn.
And I have a
And I have
question.
another Rush question. My son.
I want that clip. I want a clip of that.
My son thinks the song "Roll the Bones," where there's
The
rapping,
rap thing, yeah.
is heresy and completely disgraceful.
Yeah.
Everything else is fine except for
Well, what he needs to do is you need to get a video of one of the recent concerts. The R40, you can see it, and you can actually go on YouTube. And during the rap section, they have famous Canadians and famous people doing the rap. So Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones,
Anne Murray,
and the
Anne Murray.
the Trailer Park Boy. You know the Trailer Park Boys?
Yeah.
Bubbles. He's doing the, he's doing part of the rap. It's all. You've ever seen the Trailer Park Boys? Bubbles.
Yeah.
So awesome. And that was one of the fun things about them is they made fun of themselves so much.
Yeah.
Stop banging the desk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They made fun of themselves so much.
Like the laundry mat on stage, that one tour. I can't remember which one that was.
Yeah.
And then they had like chicken rotisserie.
Yeah. The R40 tour, which ended up being their last tour.
Didn't they open that up with the South Park thing?
No, they did do a South Park thing, but they start. So I saw them the same concert that Darin saw them in Riverbend for the Clockwork Angels, which was their last official album.
That was their penultimate
concert. And I remember their stage setup, and I went to see them in R40. It was just a couple of years later. Mm-hmm. It was the same stage, and I was pissed. I was like, what the hell? You can't come up with a new stage?
Yeah.
But then they played a couple songs from that, and then as they're playing, all these stage workers come out and start deconstructing it and building a new stage. And they did that all through the concert. So when they were playing their 90s stuff, they had their 90s stage, 80s, they came back.
Did they have the Presto Rabbit come up?
They didn't do that, but they did have neon. They put neon bars up and all these things. And they went all the way back to, they ended with Working Man. And Getty, right before their last song, mentioned that they started in high school gyms. And then it projected a high school gym behind them. And they had a disco ball come down. And it was, they played Working Man with that backdrop. And then they ended. And I was like, that's perfect.
Probably the time that Geddy Lee impressed me the most was when he and Alex inducted Yes into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Geddy was playing bass with Yes on Roundabout. And just going to town, tearing it up, going crazy, like he was folding his socks or something.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely nothing to him.
Yeah. And they look around, and they sometimes they seem they're bored when they're playing. Like if you watch, if you pay close attention, I was watching Alex the whole time. He's yucking it up with the crowd. He's like, he's making fun of Geddy.
Yeah.
Like Geddy's singing, and Alex is going, I was like, and he's in the middle of a solo doing that. He's not even looking at what he's doing. It's just, this is happening, and I'm just going to make fun of this guy over here. And Geddy's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
He's having a conversation with somebody off stage while he's Neil Peart. I still don't know how he did this. He's in the middle of his drum solo. They have they have to have the Neil Peart drum solo.
Yeah, they have three of them.
He stands up in it while he's doing it. He's the one doing it. He's the drummer, so he's doing it.
He is the drummer.
He turns behind him, and then you realize there's a whole set of drums facing the other way.
It goes all the way around him.
Does that, and then turns this way and does it, and it doesn't miss a beat at all. I was watching the sticks go. I was like,
is that back when the drum set would actually turn on a turntable?
No. He was turning. He got up and turned.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was. They
had drum solo week on Letterman. And Neil was one of the 5 people who came out in his. And Dave says, by the way, that's a drum set and a time capsule, And Neil just went crazy.
Who were the other guys? I never heard about this.
Okay, it opened up with Anton Fig. Was Monday night. Neil was there. Stuart Copeland, the drummer for Santana, and I can't remember the 5th guy.
Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. Yeah. I don't remember who the 5th person was, but it was really, really cool. Drum solo week. Yeah. Dave did a bunch of theme weeks, like Ventriloquist Week. They did 2 sets of Ventriloquist Week. And that we're totally going off topic here. But yeah. Man, but it was insane. Rush was absolutely just insane. And I wish I'd gotten into them so long ago.
I do too. I would really like to have seen them back in the Presto.
No, I saw this great clip of Neil Peart doing drummer jokes. He says, "What did the drummer get on his IQ test? Drool."
All right.
Was this a bonus episode, Dave? It was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Oh,
Thank you
good.
so
I'm
much.
glad you came by. Oh, guys. Hey, yeah, thank you for joining us on this bonus episode. We'll talk to you guys later.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darin Cox production.
I gotta go check on the meatballs.